Hey Mung Beans. I'm Joey.
I'm Ashley.
And this is Wine Time Mysteries.
If you're into true crime,
And if the paranormal gets your nips hard,
then this is for you. But before we get started,
make sure to follow us on Spotify and stalk us on Insta and TikTok.
or send your inquiries to winetimemysteries@gmail.com, and we promise to at least try to get back to you.
Lego! Warning, today's episode contains graphic content that may not be suitable for people under the age of 18. If you are considered a minor, exit stage left. Please consult your GP before listening to this podcast. Thanks, bitch. Hi.
Hi, honey.
Long time no see.
A long time no see.
And by long time, I mean it wasn't really that long.
No, because we see each other nearly every day. Yeah, and
Yeah.
still not sick of one another.
5
Look
days
at
a
us. Yeah.
Can you imagine? Actually, that's a really good thing to bring up. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
We've never had a falling out.
Yet.
Way to go. Did you want to start today?
Today's the day.
It's a better day than any to get into it.
What's that? Like 7 years of friendship, no falling out?
7+ no fights.
Yeah.
No arguments.
No. What are you here to talk about today, Joey? I'm very excited because I don't know.
Well, actually, we're here to talk about nothing.
Oh, great. I love that. Thank you.
So,
Yeah.
today,
Yeah.
I think I'm going to be doing...
Oh, did ya?
So we haven't had a fight yet, but honestly, girls... Jesus fucking Christ. Oh, I'm not going to become our next case. Don't worry.
You mean I won't become the next one?
No, I'll be
Just
the
you
case
be
study.
Yeah, okay, true.
So I can't do one on, like, how I killed Ashley.
The day I murdered Ashley.
It's not going to work. I can't do that shit. Well, surprise, surprise, we're over in Europe again. But this time, we are not in... You sound like you're from London.
Oh.
Yeah, we're in Germany. Yeah. Guten Tag.
I was going to think of something, but I had nothing. You're welcome.
Nothing what? Some German?
Yeah.
All I can do is imagine you saying Hitler.
Literally, as soon as you went into German, I was about to go 9, and I was like, no.
Hey, that's pretty close.
No. Yeah. You
999.
999.
You're too funny.
I'm the worst.
Yeah. So picture it.
Oh, I can.
We're in
Already.
Germany.
Yeah.
And it's 1933. Today, we are talking about Joachim Kroll. Joachim Kroll.
I'm glad you said that because I was going to say it again.
Yeah, well,
It's a name.
I had to ask Mr. Google to tell me how to pronounce it because it's kind of, that's not how I would have said it. It's spelled Joachim. Joachim.
Josh.
Joachim?
Josham?
Joachim Kroll. So I had to spell it out phonetically because I was like, I'm not going to be able to do it.
Clever girl.
I know, gross, right? Kroll, as we will call him
Good.
today.
I like that. Kroll.
Kroll the troll. He was the youngest of 8 children, but he was considered the runt because
Of the
he
litter?
was of the entire. Well, he was, yeah.
Yeah.
All of her nutrients were sucked out and given to all the other kids.
I don't know what he's done, but he sounds like a runt.
He sounds like something that rhymes with runt.
That's exactly why I said runt.
Yeah. So he was much smaller than the other children around his age.
Yeah.
So he obviously got picked on. And sometimes I'm like, oh, that would
As a
suck.
child, yeah. Like, you do feel sorry of the child version.
You do, but everyone has a choice as to what they do with that.
Yeah.
Some people can use it to better themselves, and some people can do the entire exact opposite.
Yeah, don't blame it on your childhood.
His family suffered extreme poverty. They were very, very poor, and especially with like 8 mouths to feed.
Yeah.
But you also think about Nazi Germany at the time. We're not going to get into that, but
yeah, just wouldn't have been
a lot of people were suffering. I think it was also during the Depression, so it's going to be tough. And his dad did serve in World War II,
Yeah.
but to what capacity, I don't know. I couldn't find out.
Yeah.
And if he did serve, then all the more reason to hate him. His dad, however, did end up as a POW.
I'm like, piece of...
Wank.
Yeah. I was going to say wood. I mean, kind of the same, right?
Close enough. A POW is a prisoner of war.
Piece of wank. Story checks out. Prisoner of war. Okay. I like how you looked at me and I'm like, no, I'm not falling into this trap.
Do you know what that is?
No, I don't.
Yeah, it's a piece of wank. Just like me, Kroll didn't complete schooling, and he left in 1948 because, like, that's what us bad bitches do.
Yeah. How old was he?
I don't know.
What year is this?
What year was this? Well, dear listeners, if he was born in 1933 and it's now 1948...
15.
I'm glad you did that with the power of your mind.
I did that with my mind powers.
Just with your mind.
Quickly goes to calculator.
You did no such thing. I'm
No.
watching you. Don't lie.
Didn't. Yeah.
You did that all with your fingers.
Quick maths.
Yeah. Not completing school around this time was quite common.
Yeah.
And it was also around this time that he did get his first job as a farmhand. And side note, later testing did show that Kroll had an IQ of only 78. Some people even said he didn't know how to read. But if you went through schooling at least up until the age of 15,
You should
know how to read.
Yeah, like you may have issues learning or like sounding out things maybe.
Well, I mean, you could be dyslexic.
Yeah.
There's nothing I could find that said that. Later in life, Kroll would tell people that his time as a farmhand was how he kind of discovered his darker side of things. The words I believe that were used were, it ignited his bloodlust when he saw his first pig getting slaughtered.
My thought went straight to animals. I was like, what has he done?
Yeah.
What is he going to do?
He was quoted as saying that when he was 15, it awakened his sex drive.
Violence and sex merging.
And
the two.
murder and blood. And before that, apparently, he didn't really have much of a sex drive. He did try to have a romantic relationship with one person, I think. But he said that it felt awkward and he felt inadequate sexually, saying that the only sexual experience he ever had with a woman, and just to be painfully clear on what I'm saying, consensual sexual experience, it was viewed as a failure. I don't know if that was like I can't get it up.
That's where my mind went to.
He didn't go into detail about it, just that.
That is interesting, though.
And again, just as a warning for you, like, I wasn't kidding when I said this is
Girl,
a bad
after your
one.
last episode on Amelia Arseface Dyer, where you went from 0 to 1,000, I'm sure this is going to be like that again.
I think I'm going from 1,000 to 100,000.
Maybe turn it down a little. Cute.
I think my next one will be about the Teletubbies.
Yeah, I was literally thinking rainbows and sunshine, Teletubbies.
Something not bad at all.
I don't know if I want you doing crime anymore.
You've created a monster.
What have I done?
So after that experience, that's when he decided that he needed to have sexual encounters with people, and I quote, that cannot complain.
Yeah, I was going to say so he can dominate and be a failure, but he's got control.
Well, it wasn't even to be he didn't get turned on by the fact that he couldn't get it up. He, I think, just got distracted about the fact there was another person that was there, and he wanted complete control, so he wanted to do whatever he wanted, and you couldn't say that wasn't good.
Yeah, you had no say about it, pretty much.
Yeah, there was none. So he ended up becoming fixated on death, and after his mother passed away in 1955, he was 22 by this time.
Yeah.
When this happened, he began killing. So this is when he started.
After his mum died.
After his mother died. He just probably figured, fuck it.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to his dad, though.
Didn't you say prisoner of war?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he died. A lot of time, prisoners of war would be returned home.
Yeah.
It just depends who he got locked up by. Like, I know the Americans, when they took German troops home, they actually cared for them. Strangely enough, but they did. They cared for them, and they made sure they were well fed, and they were like de-indoctrinated against America. So if it was America, they would have been fine. That was a little side note. It had nothing to do with what I researched just then.
Yeah.
It's not clear if this was a response of his mother dying, so that never really came up, but I guess people do tend to handle grief differently. But it's clear from when he was 15 that he had
already
dark
someone going on
side. Like, his thoughts were not.
So it's just a little
good.
icing on the cake.
Yeah.
The death cake.
Yeah. Like most people, the death cake.
Sorry.
Jesus, I hit that late.
It took a while.
It did. What the fuck? So, like, most people cry, right? Or some people find someone to sleep with, but I guess others kill.
Apparently.
Yeah. Rape and eat people, but why not? But then we know.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Was that a little glimpse?
Did you just slip a nip out?
I think I slipped all of my bits out. And my gibblies.
Your gibblies. Put your gibblies away, girl.
No. They like the feel of the warm summer air. So, as I mentioned just before, in 1955 was when he first started killing. And he did take his first victim at that time. Her name was Irmgard Strill. And yes, I can't pronounce most of these names.
Yeah.
I apologize, but I will still say the names regardless.
Doing
She
good,
was 19 years old. He raped her and stabbed her to death, and she was found disemboweled in a barn.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know who by.
Yeah.
Probably just like a stranger or the barn owner.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not great. In 1956, Erika Schuleder was 12 years old. She was found raped and strangled. Now, when I say raped, I need to make it painstakingly clear, like I did earlier, that it is advised by experts that these rapes were not while these people were alive.
Oh.
He was a necrophiliac.
Oh. But it makes sense, because that's what I kind of thought about before. When you did say power, I was like, I don't think tied up. I went straight
Especially
to
when you say
dead.
when they can't complain, like you...
They can't talk, nothing.
Yeah. June 16th, 1959, Clara Freda Tesma, who was only 24, was murdered and found in the same manner as Irmgard. Only, Clara had a piece of flesh that was removed from her buttocks and a piece of flesh that was removed from her thigh. It turns out that Kroll took pieces home to cook for dinner, and someone else was wrongly accused and unfortunately couldn't handle the accusation, so he hung himself while he was waiting trial.
Oh my god.
Just an innocent guy. Which, unfortunately, you will see does become a small pattern here.
Why are you like this? This is like
Me?
you. This is just messed up already.
I'm just getting straight into it. Look.
We're still like at the start. Oh my god.
July 26, 1959, Manuela Nod was 16 years old, and she was also found raped and strangled. She was also found with slices of flesh carved out of her buttocks and thighs. So, again, that's like a little bit of a pattern. Now, along with raping them, he also confessed to masturbating over their dead bodies before leaving the scene. And once he got home, he would pleasure himself again with a rubber sex doll that he would frequently strangle.
Of course he did.
And he also collected small dolls to rehearse killing children with.
Oh my god. Obviously has a high sex drive now that he's found his... Like, I can only... Not giving excuses, but if he's having sex with them, wanking over them, and then going home and your sex drive must be super high because you have not had it before. Now you've just awakened this.
Girl, sometimes you are so uncouth. Wanking over them.
Oh yeah.
Jesus. It gets worse.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
This is why I took my glasses off, so I can rub my eyes, put my hand over my eyeballs, and just take it in.
He would end up taking a small hiatus from this little passion project of his to try to find a new career, and he became a toilet attendant for Manzeman in 1960. So you know what a toilet attendant is. Like, they have them in the big American films.
Yeah, the one that's saying, "Here's your towel.
Would you like soap, sir?
Let me fluff your nuts."
Oh, where are those?
Fluffer.
Oh, you're not fluffer. That's your professional job. I need to find out if this is a real thing.
Can you fluff me nuts?
Can you fluff my nuts for free?
If you don't laugh, you cry.
That's right. Try researching this. He would work for one other company doing the same thing, but chose to go back to his true love, being a gross fuck.
Yeah.
April 23rd, 1962, Petra Giza, 13, was raped and strangled to death with her own scarf. And again, someone else was convicted and arrested for the murder, a male named Vincenz Kuhn.
So what kind of evidence are they going off? That they have... Like, I know probably back then serial killers wasn't a thing until, I think, like 60s, 70s when they started to clue on the patterns and...
Well, he may have had a low IQ, however, he was never murdering in the same town he lived in. So he would travel around to a random place, and they didn't have cameras or anything that could confirm that you were in that location at the time. So it was anybody who would have been in that area, witnessed by another person. I saw you there around that day at that time. You must have been the one who did this. Unfortunately, they would get falsely accused. I'm not sure what happened with him either, unfortunately. June 4th, 1962, Monica Taffel, 12, strangled to death, and then he raped her body as well. Slices of flesh were carved from her buttocks, and some experts concluded that he may have actually eaten and ingested some of her flesh raw at the scene of the crime. Yeah, no. That's not anything I'm interested in.
Just got nothing to say.
Again, somebody else was arrested for this murder, but they were later released, and his name was Walter Quicker. Walter. September 3rd, 1962, Barbara Bruder, also 12. He would later confess to killing her. They never found a body. So he knew her name, but she was just never found.
Did he eat most of her then? You know what I mean? Like how he's obviously not disposing, well, I guess until he clued on maybe. Maybe I should dispose of the bodies.
He was just leaving them from the patterns and from the research I did. It looked like he would just leave them where he killed them. He didn't try to move it anywhere. He just did his thing, and such a vulgar way to look at it, but he literally just...
Yeah.
He did the act.
Didn't try to clean up, just
left. And obviously back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, they didn't really have DNA crime kits that they could really look for anything on. Yeah. Which is kind of frustrating. Well, you'll be happy to know that he ended up taking a few years off.
Okay, good.
Because that one happened in 62. He wasn't back again until like 65.
Interesting. I was going to say before, there was a few of them that there was a bit of a gap in between.
You'll see that in these. There's a pattern to how he does it. Yeah. And it's not so that he doesn't get caught. That's the strangest part. He mentions why. So, yeah, during that time, he didn't commit any more murders. And according to him, in later interviews, he said that there were times that he felt like he was done with murder, rape, and consumption of... And I wrote human beings, because among beings. Oh. Gross. But again, he decided that he was not actually done, and his desires would get the best of him, resulting in the following deaths that I'm about to read into. And I'm really sorry, but it's not finished yet. August 22nd, 1965. Herman Schmitz, 25, Kroll's only male victim.
And he's gone back up in the ages again. Interesting.
Yeah. That's not even the oldest he goes to. We'll get to that soon.
Oh, great.
Was having a sneaky shag in his car with his fiancée, Marion Veen, at a local Lover's Lane. Yeah. I've never ever been to like a Lover's Lane.
No. Do we even have them here?
I don't think so. We're so broken. We're just fucking cars. Like, it doesn't matter where it is. I've never done that before. Twice or 3 times. I've never done it.
I never.
I haven't done it 4 times. Only 3. Not even 3. I haven't done it at all.
I haven't.
Oh, I can't talk about that.
Because you haven't done it.
I haven't done anything. I definitely did not do that.
Of course you have.
I wouldn't know a penis if I sat on one. Oh, I digress again. So what happened was Kroll pretended to need help. And was like calling out and waving his arms. And obviously the man, being the chivalrous man, was like, "You wait here, my darling. I'm going to go and help this man to figure out what it is he needs. You stay here."
What a gentleman.
What a gentleman. Like, I wouldn't have done that. I would have been like, "Bitch, like, you go."
But also like in mid-pump.
Yeah.
That's awkward.
Mid-pump.
I'm sorry. Plug yourself up. I'm going to go sort this out.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry.
These poor people. Schmitz got out of the car. I love that surname, Schmitz.
Schmitty.
Got out of the car to go and help him because not only was he chivalrous to his fiancée, but he was just a nice man who was like, 25-year-old man who was like, you need help, I'm going to help you.
Yeah. Never help people.
Don't. Let them suffer.
Yeah.
Don't do that, actually. Don't do that. When Schmitz reached Kroll stabbed him and murdered him in front of Marion.
Yeah, I was just about to say, was she close by? But yeah.
She could see it. But Marion was a boss-ass bitch. Marion didn't die, by the way.
Good.
Marion jumped into the driver's seat and tried to run him over.
Oh, get it, girl.
Yeah.
Good on her.
Yeah. When I read that, I was so happy. I was like, that is from a film. Kroll ended up jumping out of the way and she drove off. And she reported him, but the description was pretty nondescript, so it didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
But girl, you need to see that he looks like a turtle.
Yeah, I'm going to Google him.
He looks like a runt turtle. A turtle runt, if you will. A turtlet. A tortoise from Tortuga.
Ew. Am I not turtly enough for the turtle club?
Am I not turtle enough?
He's just disgusting. Piece of shit. Little fucking turtle.
September 13th, 1966. Ursula Rowling, 20, was strangled and then raped. She was found hidden in a bush, naked from the waist down with her legs left spread open, because that's also a humiliating thing, right?
That's what I was just about to say. Like, it's bad enough you killed her, but you're going to leave her body in a position like that to be found?
Her boyfriend, Adolf Schickel, yes. Her boyfriend, Adolf Schickel, was falsely accused of the murder, again another pattern.
Yeah.
While he was actually proven innocent, his grief and the continued accusations got to him, and he ended up committing suicide by jumping off a bridge.
Oh my gosh, my heart.
Because he couldn't deal with losing his girlfriend and then being accused of it.
That's what I mean. Like, I'm sure he found out how she was found and how her body was, and oh, that hurts.
This next one's a tough one. December 22nd, 3 days before Christmas, 1966. Iluna, I love that name.
What was it?
Iluna.
Iluna.
Yeah.
Oh.
Iluna Harker, aged 5.
Oh no, don't.
Was drowned. He had held her head down under the water in a nearby stream before having sex with her lifeless body. When she was found, they first believed that she drowned of natural causes. She was playing around.
Yeah. That
and
time,
then
kids
drowned.
Just run off, do whatever.
And it wasn't until they actually looked at the body and,
Well, that's not the first thing you assume. Like, oh, has she been raped and murdered?
Well, it didn't say that she was found naked or that it looked like her clothes had been fiddled with in any way. So can you just imagine being her parents?
That's just horrific.
July 12th, 1970. So again, he's taken a 4-year hiatus because I think maybe when he took that child's life, maybe he was like, okay, this has filled me up for now. I have everything I need. I'm going to put that beast to rest.
And I'm sorry, did you say that, did he take meat from her or he didn't?
It didn't say for her.
Okay. So maybe he didn't for her because I'm sure it would have been out there.
Possibly, but I mean, I did have to go and look at so many different websites that had different bits of information. Some had more than others had. Some, I think, were speculating and just basing it off the other murders, so it's not like it was all
concrete.
Yeah, and it wasn't all congruent. I know that I said that in my last episode, but still, it just wasn't, there wasn't enough information to piece it together to be like, this is the definite.
What happened?
Yeah. Unless you have like the coroner's report, like exactly what was written. Obviously, you don't want to put too much graphic information in. They would have alluded to something, but they wouldn't have said exactly what happened. July 12th, 1970, Maria Hedgen, 61.
Oh. Yeah, so gone from 5 to 61.
Yeah. And that was his very next victim 4 years later, was an elderly lady, considered elderly at the time. Yeah.
Because given the previous murders, it sounded like he liked the 12, 13-year-olds. And then he's, okay.
I think it was that age group was just easier for him to overpower and to get to, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, you saw him. He's a ween of a man. Like, he's not a big guy. He was referred to as a runt. Anyway, Maria was beaten, raped, and strangled to death. May 21st, 1970, Yuta Ran was 13 years old. She was strangled while walking home from the train station. Someone else was arrested for the murder because I believe their neighbor was harassing them a lot about it and pointing the finger and saying it was him to this other guy who was arrested, and it wasn't him. He had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
He probably just looked like a bug-eyed creep.
Yeah.
But that's not his fault.
It's just my face.
That's just my face. Leave me alone. He ended up getting released when they discovered it was not him. So thank God this guy didn't commit suicide from that false accusation, because I don't know what I would do if not just someone, but a bunch of people were like, you killed this person, you did this, you did this.
Especially when people who actually do the murder will deny it. So that'd be so.
No one's going to come forward.
It's like, I am telling you the truth.
I didn't do it, but how can you prove that you didn't do it?
Yeah, that's.
And then I would argue, how can you prove that I did? I didn't do it. But then you look guilty. When you're accused of something, especially something so heinous, you don't have a real way to defend yourself other than to prove your innocence. Back then, you couldn't. Again, matching my statement I made earlier, he ended up taking another sabbatical from murder, rape, and cannibalism until May 8th, 1976, where 10-year-old Karen Topher was raped and strangled. So again, it gets younger and younger and younger.
Yeah.
And then older and then younger, and there's no pattern to what's actually happening. We now get into kind of the end of this story-ish. And this is the final murder. I'm really going to need you to stay seated for this one. I know, Del. I know. But you'll need to.
Shut your mouth and sit down.
July 3rd, 1976. A neighbor asked Kroll if he knew what was blocking the pipes in the building. You see, they shared a latrine, a lavatory, a toilet, a bathroom.
Yeah.
Many homes did, apparently, around those times, like apartment complexes would have like a shared common like bathroom.
Yeah.
It was also poor, so like, it's normal.
Yeah.
Gross. And Kroll replied with guts. And his neighbor laughed because he thought that he was just making a funny joke, until he actually lifted the toilet seat and he saw that there were small human organs. And then he immediately contacted the police straight after that. You see, earlier that day, Kroll had kidnapped a 4-year-old girl named Marion Kettner from a local park. Probably one of the only times he actually did it locally. When the police arrived at his apartment, they found Marion's dismembered body. And they found parts of her in the fridge and in the freezer. On the stove, they found soup containing potatoes, carrots, and the 4-year-old's severed hand simmering away. And they located, a little bit later, her liver, lungs, kidney, and heart in the toilet. That's what he was trying to flush down. Not a fan of human offal, I guess.
No.
Commenting on his own cannibalistic tendencies, he said that he was just being practical as meat was too expensive.
No.
Yeah. But many experts said that he would have done it because he found it sexually satisfying. It wasn't him trying to be thrifty.
So he got off on eating people as well?
Yeah, you're consuming part of another human being. There's a power trip that he would have experienced in that. And then he probably would have jerked off after eating the meal. Speculation, I don't know that for sure, but he was disgusting.
I wish you could see my face.
Yeah, today she's Joey. She's grimacing. As horrible as this story is, I'm a little bit desensitized to it. It doesn't mean I don't feel it still, but doing the research, I haven't seen crime scene photos. I don't want to see that, but I've looked at this for a week now. So I've put it to rest.
Yeah.
I've put the grieving process has completed.
Yeah.
A fascinating yet strange fact. He was well known by the children in his neighborhood and would, on many, many, many occasions, go for walks with the little girls in the neighborhood, and he would also buy candy for them.
Of course he would.
And surprisingly, thank fuck, they would return home from these walks unscathed, untouched. He wouldn't molest them. He wouldn't do anything to them. They just went for the walk.
Probably getting off on knowing that
he could at any time.
Yeah.
That's what I thought when I was reading it. Kroll's trial lasted for 151 days and was sentenced to 9 terms of life imprisonment on April 8th, 1982. Bitch, get this. He was shocked when he got arrested for the murder, the necrophiliac rape, and the cannibalism of human beings, because he believed that what was going to happen was that the authorities were going to help him not be a murderer anymore. That they would provide him with the help he needed to stop killing, and that he would just be allowed back out.
You want to be rehabilitated, you turn yourself in. You confess.
Yeah, you got caught.
And you also don't do that. You go to someone and say, I'm having these bad thoughts.
Help me.
Help me.
Yeah.
You don't kill how many people?
Children, the elderly, you don't do that. My mind in that area goes to, okay, could what he did not have been a form of trying to get caught, putting it in the shared toilet, telling the man what it was, not even trying to dispose of the parts properly?
Yeah.
Or it just wouldn't go down and he figured, fuck it, like I can't get rid of, what am I going to do now?
Well, he could have easily killed the neighbour.
Yeah, it's not like he was
not
opposed
told
to killing.
him. Yeah.
I mean, the neighbour would have looked in the toilet anyway.
Yeah.
That would have happened.
That's not poop.
Kroll died in prison of a heart attack on July 1st, 1991.
So he wasn't even in jail for that long.
Yeah, no, 1982 to 1991. 9 years.
Yeah.
If that. And then I just wrote, Auf Wiedersehen, you dirty Arschloch. And that was the story of Joachim Kroll.
I don't like it.
And it was a disgusting story, and that's why we felt that we need to implement some type of warning at the beginning of our episodes when we talk about...
Excuse me, your episodes.
Listen, Linda.
The rate you're going.
Here's the thing. All of the content we talk about is graphic to a degree. Mine, I just had to find a new glass ceiling.
Yeah, you just had to go that extra mile.
And I did. Next week, I'll be killing people.
Yeah.
No. So it was gross, and I apologize if it was too much for people. I understand. It was a very heavy topic today.
Yeah, it is funny being on the other side, isn't it?
Yeah.
You see the enjoyment now, and I get of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't feel enjoyment.
Yeah.
That the death and rape and cannibalism of these people and these children kind of broke your brain for a little bit.
I'm surprised he didn't get killed in jail. Because you know how they say whenever someone rapes and murders kids, it's always a big thing that they will off you. So it's interesting to know that he at least lasted 9 years.
Yeah, but we also don't know if they knew what he was in there for.
Yeah, he may not have opened up or just given a lie.
Or he could have been in seg. Like, if he was in segregation
that's true.
for his own safety, then he would have been safe. I think that if you are capable of senseless murder multiple times, necrophilia, cannibalism, that is not something you can be rehabilitated from. You are off. And I know all lives matter, # sorry but not all. Life is a beautiful thing and it's important, but we need those people taken away from.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
And with good reason. You're so welcome. Have a wonderful day, everybody.
Yeah, have a great day.
And see ya. Don't kill anyone.
And don't do it.
Please don't kill anyone.
And don't eat anyone.
Definitely don't eat anyone.
Don't eat anyone. There's plenty of meat to go around.
Or just become a fucking vegetarian. Grow a cabbage.
A vegan.
Grow a lettuce. Go eat grass if you must.
Yeah.
Be an urban forager. Go find mushrooms and...
Do that. Don't eat people. Yeah, on that note, love you, bye.
Yeah, love you, see ya. Bye.